Interesting factors that I neglected to mention on the last video, and I'm on a cord right now, so you'll see some weird jerks that maybe you don't normally see. Different kinds of jerks from how I usually do it. I've run out of command markers, and I'm using these manpower markers because the out of command has the vulnerable marker on the other side, and a lot of ships are vulnerable too. Anyway, the French lost a second commander. Again, not their chief commander, so it doesn't affect their chances of fleeing. But they're down to just this one pseudo column here. I don't know how to call this. Basically, following the straight rules of the game, I think I could have everything in command but this ship, or I could have this line in command. I'm saying, well, this is all a column. What about this guy? Well, he's sort of part of it too. They got enough problems. Let's let them form up that into the column, because this command down here, these guys are out of command. This guy's part of the column, and then all of these are out of command. Now, how big a deal is that? It's not a terrible thing. It does mean, though, that the English could disengage from the out-of-command units and focus on the little segment that is in command, because these are much less likely to be able to fire. But right now, they're going to be trading shots with the front end of that. There's no question. And the English are kind of flying off in the wrong direction. On the English side, not only did this one strike, but I forgot to mention, this guy's dismasted. So he's actually part of this command right now. He'll get to fire some weapons, but he's not going to be keeping up with the fleet in the near future. All right. Have I divided up my commands sufficiently? I don't know if I need delineation for the French, because they don't have any. They have one command. We'll see. But it definitely creates some problems for them. Maybe I should reach way over here and get myself a quick die roll. Now, the French commander is wounded as well, so his rating is not as good as it used to be. His rating's only a 2, so he essentially has a +1. The English are going to get the advantage at the beginning of this turn. And geez, I don't know. Do I let the French get some individual ships? Well, I haven't decided when I'm moving. Let me think to myself. English pushed through with a little pass-through, mainly disengaging with the French ships. Took some rigging damage from chaser guns, but this one is still going to be able to do a little bit of nasty on them. No matter what, they can back sails and fire into the ass there. Let's see what the French. This little French command here is sort of swinging its way through some long-range rigging fire for the most part, just trying to screw with the English maneuverability there. Unfortunately, this ship had no way out with his speed beyond this struck ship, except by tacking. And he's done that. Now, I could capture this thing, but it's ready to sink. So I didn't want to do that. But unfortunately, doing the tacking, I didn't want to fire right on the tack. I can fire later and it won't hurt me. But I took some fire that I couldn't respond to because of that. I'll be able to later. All right, we're back on the Brits. Something of a courtesy, just to clear up the battlefield. I had all this handled on its own. None of them succeeded. Well, one of them succeeded, but none of them really got to close and open fire effectively. This one, though, had to do a sternway and ended up in a position where it ended up able to fire. Actually, I don't know if it was able to. Oh, well. No way I can go back now. Yeah, if they do end up next to something, they shouldn't be allowed to. Oh, well. Then over here, this little grouping here has slid around and took some fire from the guy in irons here. Now, the problem with that is there's no penalty that I see for firing in irons. Maybe there's a die roll modifier. Yeah, I don't see that. And that doesn't really make a lot of sense. If you can't maneuver, that's really kind of the penalty that's faced with that faces a dismasted ship or some of the other situations. I feel like there should be a rate increase there. I didn't do it. I just fired him straight up. You have more maneuverability when you're in irons. That makes sense. But then again, a dismasted ship might be deploying longboats and trying to pull itself into position. So I don't know. Anyway, it certainly would be a little bit more maneuverable, but I don't think as maneuverable as a moving ship. Seems as bad as trying to fire while tacking, to tell you the truth. Well, not if somebody just slides up alongside you like this, I guess. I don't know. And they clearly are in range and fireable. It's just, why is a dismasted ship not? Why is that penalized then? Now, I've got a whole line of out-of-command French ships that I can do. And I also have this little squadron. I think I'm going to force all the froggies to go first. French managed a couple of shots over here. This one, of course, was a guaranteed one. That actually did a lot of damage, like, I think 6 points of hull damage. Ship's already on fire. It would have caught on fire again if it could have. This one, just a little long-range sniping. And I chose not to do a defensive fire against it. I don't know, mainly because I didn't want to roll the dice. It's a low-odds attack. Ways to not do it, but sometimes you make little mistakes like that. I've got one more British force to move. So to this central force, I think I have not yet moved. And that's this whole command here, not this ship. The rest of these, though. And that final central command is just trying to wear. You can see this guy has actually mainly done it, but most of the rest are so shot up they're having trouble. And this guy may have pulled himself out of command by doing so. You know, it's hard because you move your first ship and you think, oh, everybody will kind of follow and they'll be in something like a column. Well, that doesn't look anything like a column. It looks like just a mess. I don't know where my commander is hiding under all this crap. Oh, he's in the lead ship. Great. Well, he's got a range of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to be able to get most of those guys. This poor thing is going to be out of command, but it's dismasted. It's not going to be able to keep up. I think that's it. I'll come back for the end of the turn report. And now at the end of another turn, I think, yeah, one English ship flipped over to Europe. That's out now. The French still are good enough that even though they've got a penalty on their die roll, they still can't possibly break. The English only on a 0. Yep, there goes the English fleet. You know, I was considering running a pursuit, but honestly, I'm not in the mood to do it. Every time I think about it, I'm like, you know, I just can't. I just want to clean it up now. This overstayed its welcome, as many of these larger battles do. Maybe, I don't know, even the small ones, I just don't want to do it. You know, it would be more interesting. A lot of these English ships are in trouble, though. I can guarantee you that. So with them disengaging and running from the French, what we have as a problem is that there's some speedy French ships that can probably chase down a couple of these and take them down. There's a number of these that it doesn't require speedy ships to chase. They're just weak. You know, when we look at the center here, it's going to be hard for them to get away. Now, they may end up sinking as much as their own value, or more even. And that's kind of what I wanted to look into here. Another possibility is that the French fleet will just let the English go. Except for maybe sending a couple of runners out to go capture something. Because losing ships isn't worth it. They've succeeded in their mission in a lot of ways. They don't really need to hunt down the cripples. Just capturing a few of the laggards with their speedier ships, a few of the cripples out there, would be worthwhile. Anyway, not the result I would have thought. Until I realized, gee, the British have to roll, even though they're kind of winning the battle. That's when it came up as kind of a, wow, that's kind of weird. I'm not sure it's bad. It's just weird. All right, let's send this little guy up then.